When somebody like me asks you why God ain't doing this, why God ain't doing that, why God can't do X, why can't he do Z? Don't be talking about some, oh, you want God to be a genie in a fucking bottle. No, I want God to do exactly what the fuck he's doing in verse 5. Let's get it. YouTube, what it do? It's your boy Black Atheist, back with it. You know what time it is. You know what's going on. Get this work. The goal for today's video is 100 likes. I need 100 likes, 100 comments. That lets me know you rock with it. That lets YouTube know you rock with it. And they're going to push the content out to more people, more subscribers, more views, more exposure. We get the truth out. So you liking the video and leaving a comment does more than you think. So pay your motherfucking tithes and offering at the door. This is Everything Wrong in the Bible. We are on Genesis chapter 35. When we last left off, Jacob's daughter Dinah was sexually assaulted by Shechem. Now, if you watched Genesis chapter 34, you know that God was coming down. God was talking to Jacob. He named him Israel. He wrestled with him. All of that was going on in the chapters prior to Genesis chapter 34. And in Genesis 34, he did nothing. He didn't rescue his daughter. He didn't even come down. He didn't even acknowledge that the girl had been assaulted. After she was assaulted, Jacob's sons, Simeon and Levi, tricked all of the Shechemites into circumcision. And after they were circumcised, they were hurting and sore. And then Simeon and Levi put the whole city to the sword. Everybody, killed them all. Okay, this is Genesis 35, and the title reads, Jacob returns to Bethel. Verse 1 says, Then God said to Jacob, Go up to Bethel and settle there and build an altar there to God, who appeared to you when you were fleeing from your brother Esau. Now, mind you, in the chapter that comes right before this, his daughter was raped. God didn't come down. God didn't talk. God didn't intervene. The very next chapter, God is talking and walking with Jacob. He's explaining things to him. He's telling him what to build. You see my points. Now you see what I was saying in Genesis 34 about how the God comes down and intervenes and talks to the men and just sits back and watches the women get raped. And it's not okay because we have evidence of him coming down and talking to the men. That's why it's not okay. That's why it's an issue, because he can do what he wants. He can come down and name Jacob Israel. He can come down and talk to him about building a fucking altar. And then this is right after he just watched this man's daughter get raped. Your bullshit meter it's got to be going off at this point. Like we're not gonna make it through these videos without the bullshit meter going off, because this is bullshit. This is sick and twisted shit. The underlying narrative of this shit is, it's not okay if you're a woman. It's not okay if you have women in your life. This should not sit right with you. Also, this is another example of God coming down and talking, and God speaking to this guy in the book. If this God is real, you believe this God is real, this same thing should be happening for you, where he comes down and speaks in full sentences. Ain't no burning bush, ain't no parable, ain't no sign. No, it says, then God said to Jacob. This is showing that the God in the Bible talks. He speaks with humans. He comes down and he breaks down to humans what to build. Now, my question to you is, have you ever heard the fucking voice of God? Let's try it. God, big fucking Jeezy, if you're real, speak to us the way you spoke to Jacob in this chapter. Let's see it. You hear fucking nothing. Now, they say you got to have faith and it got to be sincere. Bullshit. That's bullshit. If this God wanted to speak to me, if this God wanted to speak to you, he would just speak to us the way he speaks in the fucking book, y'all. Come on. Verse 2 says, so Jacob said to his household and to all who were with him, get rid of the foreign gods you have with you and purify yourselves and change your clothes. You see, bullshit meter has to be going off. What other fucking gods? Because if Yahweh is real and he's appearing, he's coming down and talking, why would anyone have any other gods at this point? This don't make fucking sense. And for the life of me, I just can't understand the obsession with the God of the fucking universe worried about what everybody else is worshiping. Why does that matter to you if you're the God, you're the Elohim, you're the all-knowing, all-powerful creator of the universe? Why does other people worshiping other gods hurt your fucking feelings so much to the point where you gotta tell people to get rid of their gods and get rid of their spiritualities? When you look at this from the context of black people and African people, this is the same shit that colonizers do. They demonize your worship and replace it with theirs so that they can fucking control you and get you on board with the program. They can't brainwash you and indoctrinate you and force shit on you until they demonize your worship and your spirituality first, before they force their gods on you. Before they indoctrinate you with their bullshit, they need you to get rid of your spirituality, your gods, your deities, your forms of worship. They want you to rid yourself of your beliefs and practices that deifies the culture that you come from. And then they want you to replace it with their God. If you're looking at this from the context of everybody else that's not Jacob, it's like, nigga, how do we know you talking to a fucking God? How we know you talking to the God of the universe? Clearly they don't fucking know he's having full-blown conversations with the fucking all-knowing creator. If they knew this, they wouldn't have other gods in the first place, y'all. So you gotta think, this narrative is bullshit. And it's like they're trying to convey a message. This is symbolism. This is some form of like propaganda for specific people at a specific time. This is not literal history. This is, you can tell this is written with an agenda. Verse 3 says, "Then come, let us go up to Bethel, where I will build an altar to God, who answered me in the day of my distress, and who has been with me wherever I have gone." This is the same God that just watched your daughter get raped. So the logic ain't logicking. The math ain't mathing for black atheists. This don't make, why would he say this? So the God is with you, and when you call on him and you in distress, he gonna come and he with you everywhere you go. But when your daughter get sexually assaulted, oh, that's nothing. That don't even count as a strike against Yahweh, because women don't fucking matter. This is property. This is what we trade for 7 years of work. If you've been keeping up with the chapters, you know you can work for 7 years and get someone's daughter. You can work for 14 and get both daughters. Y'all stay with it now. But you see how he's bragging about his God that's always with him, that he can call on. What about everybody else? You know, I understand that these people are your slaves and your servants and your sex slaves and your field workers and shit. But how does this God apply to them? What do they gain out of worshiping this God? What, like, you telling them to get rid of their gods and follow you to Bethel so y'all can build an altar to your God. But this is the God that's going to watch them get slaughtered, watch them get raped. If they starve, who going to help them? We know Yahweh helping you, but what about everybody fucking else? You see, this is another issue with religious people. It's all about what God when they call on God. It's all about when they in distress. It's all about when they need God and they believe the God helping them. What about every fucking body else? You calling on God when you in distress, how does that help other motherfuckers that's in distress? God always being with you means fucking nothing to everybody else that he ain't with. We already know this God picks favorites. We know who his chosen people are. If you ain't no fucking Israelite, your ass ain't chosen up until this point yet. Because at this point, the fucking Christians ain't came and made everything for the Gentiles. It's strictly for the Jews at this point, strictly for Israel. So up until Genesis chapter 35, if your ass ain't an Israelite, Yahweh don't give a fuck about you. Verse 4 says, "So they gave Jacob all the foreign gods they had and the rings in their ears, and Jacob buried them under the oak at Shechem. Then they set out, and the terror of God fell on the towns all around them, so that no one pursued them." You see what I'm fucking saying, y'all? If you're not an Israelite, this God in this book don't give a fuck about you. This literature is for a specific people. This is not meant for everybody. This is not everybody's God. This is not the one true God of the fucking universe, and it never was. The scriptures show. These people are writing a mythological narrative for their people. This ain't everybody's mythology. This ain't everybody's history. This ain't everybody's narrative. This does not apply to you with your black ass. You are not a fucking Israelite. This is not your mythology, twin. I want you to lock in with Black Atheists. Turn your meter on and just lock in with me. Listen to me now. Get this work. It says, and the terror of God fell on the towns all around them so that no one pursued them, y'all. God can protect who the fuck he want. If God wanted to intervene during the transatlantic slave trade, he would have. If God wanted to come down and stop 400, 500 years of oppression, he would have. This is not a hard task for God in the Bible. So don't be out here defending this bullshit. When somebody like me asks you why God ain't doing this, why God ain't doing that, why God can't do X, why can't he do Z? Don't be talking about some, oh, you want God to be a genie in a fucking bottle. No, I want God to do exactly what the fuck he's doing in verse 5. If the enemy is trying to pursue me, if motherfuckers hate me because of what I look like, they trying to attack me, I want the God of the Bible to do what verse 5 says. Drop down some terror so that we are protected from the ones that pursue us. But it don't fucking work like this in real life, because this is not a real account. This is myth making. This is literary. This is theology. This is not fact. If you go out and ask any religious person who wrote Genesis chapter 35, you ain't gonna believe this. Guess what they gonna tell you? They gonna fucking tell you Moses wrote this shit. But guess what, ding dong? Moses never existed. So the $1 million question is, if Moses didn't exist, who the fuck wrote this? And why did they write this? Why would they write their God in a way that's strictly for Israel? Pro-Israel, has a favorite people. Let's put 1 and 1 together and make a fucking number 2. This is for Israelites. This is for them. This is specific. This is for the people who was in Canaan that branched off from the Canaanites, because Israelites were originally Canaanites. Yes, the fuck they were. Argue with your mama. The group who branched off from the Canaanites, they was having an identity crisis. They were exiled. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we want to feel special. We want to feel unique. We want to feel chosen. We're going to borrow us a God, and we're going to have this God as our God of the universe, and we're going to say we're his chosen people. Black atheists, you ain't got to go to school for 10 years to learn what I just told you. I just gave you the fruit from the tree of knowledge. I just fucking gave it to you right there. Come on, get this work, nigga. You ain't got to wonder no more longer. I done broke it down for you. Israelites were exiled. They were in exile, and they wanted to feel special. They was getting their ass kicked, and they wanted to rectify. They want to reconcile it. They wanted to, understand who they are, why they are, what they are. There you go. The high priest and the motherfucking people that was in control, or the higher ups, well, we gonna get together and we gonna give them something. We gonna have to unify under this mythology. That's what the fuck this is. That's why verse 5 does not apply to me and you with your black ass, with your black American African ass. That's why it don't apply to you. When white folks want to cause harm to you, Yahweh ain't gonna fucking step in. When white folks want to mistreat you, and we can talk about all types of shit that done happen to black people in this fucking country, in Africa, etc., all over the fucking world, people of color. Verse 5 don't apply to you. Your ass is grass. If you calling on Yahweh to help you, this is not your fucking God. This is not your culture. This is not your traditions. This is not your mythology. This is not your fucking, this ain't nothing to you. This is dog shit, and we gonna treat it that way. Because it became dog shit when they forced this on everybody else. Now they got everybody worshiping a God that's specific to a one group of motherfuckers. So no, this shit get critiqued. Now 2,000 fucking years later, you got black atheists on their ass hard, giving them work. No diddy. We on verse 6. Jacob and all the people with him came to Luz, that is Bethel, in the land of Canaan. This is incorrect. They're from Canaan. They're originally Canaan, motherfucker. Whoever wrote this is lying to you. This is historically incorrect. The archaeology says something different from what verse 6 is talking about, how they came into Canaan. No, nigga, y'all from Canaan, which y'all lying ass. These are fucking lies. All evidence points to these people were originally Canaanites and they branched the fuck off. They didn't come in and take over and conquer shit. Historically fucking correct. Come on now, lock in with me. I'm turned up. Lock in. We can't let no bullshit slide because it's fucking cap. These are lies. This is myth making. And when I get on my fucking YouTube and I get on my fucking high horse and I say all of this is mythology, they be like, what you talking about? Verses like this is fucking lies. Verse 6 says they came into the land of Canaan. No, y'all from the land of Canaan, nigga. Verse 7. There he built an altar and he called the place El Bethel. I did some research on it. Bethel means the house of God, the land of God, whatever the fuck. You know, that's what it means. It means the house of God in Hebrew. Because it was there that God revealed himself to him when he was fleeing from his brother. Verse 8. Now Deborah, Rebekah's nurse, died and was buried under the oak outside Bethel. So it was named Alon Bakuth. Who the fuck wrote that? How do they know that? The person that wrote this down, were they there at this time? No, the fuck they were not. Moses didn't write that. We already established Moses didn't write that. Whoever the fuck wrote this, they're just making up shit. They're backdating information. They're trying to write themselves into history. Verse 9, after Jacob returned from Padan Aram, God appeared to him again and blessed him. Once again, the God comes down and talks to Jacob, aka Israel. He appears to him and he blesses him. This is right after he just watched his daughter get raped. I'm going to keep bringing that back up because I need you to understand the inconsistency, the inconsistent behavior of this fucking fake ass shit. The people who wrote this clearly were not inspired by the fucking God that gives a fuck about everybody, because that God would have came down and helped the daughter too. How the fuck you got a covenant with me and we locked in, we like this. I go to sleep, I leave home and come back. You don't let my whole house get ransacked. What type of covenant is that? Clearly God picks favorites, and clearly the mythological character Jacob, aka Israel, clearly he's selfish, because it wouldn't sit right with me if a God appeared to me and blessed me after letting my family go through it. Y'all know Black Atheist slogan. You know what I say. If all of us can't eat at your table, I don't want nothing. Don't barbecue me shit. I ain't coming. I don't want a plate of your food if you ain't gonna feed everybody. That's the slogan. That's my motto. Y'all know what I stand on. So if I was in his shoes, his made up shoes, this wouldn't sit with, no, you got me fucked up. Why would you be constantly appearing to me and blessing me and watching my family suffer? No, sir. Black atheists don't work like that. But see, this is the type of narrative that allows for the selfish behavior and the selfish thought processes of people today. This is where they get it from. Everybody's a fucking Christian or a Muslim or a fucking Jew. This y'all fucking problem. Y'all getting y'all morality out of a fucking book that blesses selfish behavior, that rewards individuality. Fuck the group. They just your slaves. That's just your property. Fuck them. It's all about me, 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 me. This is the type of behavior that's influenced by this type of rhetoric, by this type of narrative, by this type of dogma. This is sick, twisted shit at every level, objectively, subjectively, up above, as below, all that shit. This is sick, twisted shit. Verse 11, and God said to him, I am God Almighty. Be fruitful and increase in, be fruitful and increase in number. A nation and a community of nations will come from you, and kings will be among your descendants. Again, you got to understand who's writing this and who they're writing to. This is trying to give people who've been exiled, who's getting their ass kicked, they need a sense of pride, a sense of belonging, a sense of importance. So what do the people in power write down to give them hope? Yeah, kings and queens gonna come from y'all, big nations and all this bullshit. No, y'all was still getting y'all ass kicked as they wrote this. Everybody's getting exiled. Everybody getting tortured. When them other empires came, it wasn't shit Yahweh could do to help. So in a time of trials and tribulations, this the type of shit they wrote down to keep everybody unified and keep them keep them mentally stable, keep them locked in together, lying to them, feeding them fucking bullshit. Verse 12 says, the land I gave to Abraham and Isaac, I also give to you, and I will give this land to your descendants after you. Then God went up from him at the place where he had talked with him, because God talks now. God speaks whatever language he's speaking. This is the language that God spoke. So I speak English. Sadly, God should be able to come down and speak English to me the exact same fucking way he did it with them. That's never fucking happened. That ain't gonna happen. But I just want you to see how and when God speaks. Ain't nobody got to call on him. Ain't nobody got to beg and plead. You ain't got to pray 5 times. No, you ain't got to do none of that. If you look at the Bible, I want to talk. I'm going to come down and talk. You ain't got to have it in your heart and all that shit, because they was worshiping other fucking, let me cook this shit. Because I'm trying to give you what the Christians and the Jews are going to say to you if you ask them why God won't talk. You got to believe it. You got to be sincere. These motherfuckers just was worshiping other gods, and Yahweh still coming down. So miss me with the fuck shit. No, there's no excuse you could give for why this same God can't come down and explain himself in a language, in a way that we could understand, when he's coming down and talking to motherfuckers that was worshiping other gods. He had to tell Jacob to tell them to get rid of all they fucking idolatry and shit. You mean to tell me when I was a Christian praising and worshiping this God, he wouldn't come down? Meanwhile, you got motherfuckers in the book worshiping other gods. He just jaywalking with them. Make sure they got land and covenants and descendants and future kings and all this bullshit. So y'all gotta miss me with that. I'm not taking those talking points. We can't allow them to push that bullshit out. No. If this God wanted to talk to you, he would come down and talk to you, because he's coming down and talking to motherfuckers that was worshiping other gods. Black atheists, cook this shit. I know. Cook it. Come on. Bullshit meters going off. They can't fuck with me. They can't. No, I'm not letting this shit slide. It's time to put this bullshit down, and we gonna go in on every fucking verse, every fucking page, every fucking letter, until you realize in your head and understand this is bullshit, this is fake, this is fiction, this is lies, this is mythology, this is myth making. I'm gonna keep fucking saying it. Verse 14, Jacob set up a stone pillar at the place where God had talked with him, and he poured out a drink offering on it. He also poured oil on it. Jacob called the place where God had talked with him Bethel. Why the fuck are we repeating ourselves? We already know you in Bethel. We done stated this all fucking ready. They just repeating the same themes and the same themes and scenes, the same themes and scenes and shit. It says the deaths of Rachel and Isaac. Verse 16. Then they moved on from Bethel. While they were still some distance from Ephrath, Rachel began to give birth and had great difficulty. Uh-oh. No, you know where this fucking going. You know, when it comes to the women, God ain't gonna do shit. It don't fucking matter. Let's keep going. Verse 17. And as she was having great difficulty in childbirth, the midwife said to her, don't despair, for you have another son. Wow. Fuck the pain. Fuck all that shit. You having a son. So be happy. Verse 18. As she breathed her last, for she was dying, she named her son Ben-Oni. But his father named him Benjamin. Okay. Exactly what I figured was going to fucking happen. Fuck the woman. She's just here for childbearing, and you fucking die. You name him one thing, your ass dead. They changed the fucking name. It's exactly what I thought the story was going. Some bullshit like that. We're not surprised at this fucking point, are we? Are you really surprised? Black Atheist, I'm not surprised. Black Atheist Rants is, I'm calm. You could check my meter, check my pulse and shit regular. This is normal. This is a normal day in the Bible for me. Now, when you look these names up, Ben-Oni means the son of my sorrow, and Benjamin means the son of my right hand. So I guess this is like a theological narrative or symbolism for, like, to give people hope that you know, you fucked up right now, but your name and your situation and your circumstance can change and some bullshit like that. I don't fucking know. Let's just make it up as we go, since that's what they did. But if you're looking at this from the perspective of an Israelite, you know, seeing the story where your name is something negative and it's switched to something positive, that can give you hope for the future. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what these people needed during this time, y'all. That's the context of it, you know. Son of my sorrow, son of my right hand. You Ben-Onai to Benjamin, that's what those names mean. So it's like, you know, you can see the author's intended purposes and shit. Like, I'm trying to give you some fucking hope. I know you believe in this bullshit ass storm god, but there's still hope. You change your fucking name, he might actually give a fuck about you and make a covenant with you or some shit like that. Verse 19 says, so Rachel died and was buried on the way to Ephrath. That is Bethlehem. Oh my fucking God. They just gonna keep, we know his name Bethlehem. Y'all don't gotta keep repeating the same exact shit. We know his name fucking Bethlehem. God damn. Verse 20 says, over her tomb, Jacob set up a pillar, and to this day, that pillar marks Rachel's tomb. Ain't no fucking tomb over there. No. Ain't no fucking tomb over there. This is some bullshit. You take your ass over there looking for Rachel's tomb, your ass won't find shit. You gonna find some other shit that don't got nothing to do with this, but they probably syncretized it like they do everything else. They probably found a tomb, and once they saw it was a tomb with a pillar on it, let me write a story to write again, let me write us into history by saying this is Rachel's fucking tomb. It's gotta be some shit like that. I bet if you take your ass over there and see, and you probably find a tomb, it probably ain't got nothing to do with these fucking made up characters in this book, but you know, the authors need to validate these stories by like tying them to real shit. Verse 21. Israel, so his name is not Jacob no more. He's finally using his new name. So verse 21, Israel moved on again and pitched his tent beyond Migdal Eder. While Israel was living in that region, Reuben went in and slept with his father's concubine, Bilhah, and Israel heard of it. Okay, so they're pausing the story to give us a weird ass genealogy or some shit. Let's see. It says Jacob had 12 sons. This could be like synonymous with like 12 tribes of Israel, the 12 disciples. There's always fucking 12 something. That's key information. That's like that's symbolism. You know, that's something they trying to say with this whole 12 shit. But it says Jacob had 12 sons, the sons of Leah, Reuben, the firstborn of Jacob, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. The sons of Rachel, Joseph and Benjamin. The sons of Rachel's servant Bilhah, Dan and Naphtali. The sons of Leah's servant Zilpah, Gad and Asher. These were the sons of Jacob who were born to him in Padan Aram. 27 says, Jacob came home to his father Isaac in Mamre near Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, where Abraham and Isaac had stayed. Isaac lived 180 years. Then he breathed his last and died and was gathered to his people, old and full of years. And his son Esau and Jacob buried him. Okay, that is the end of Genesis chapter 35. Clearly bullshit. I mean, what do you think this is history, or do you think this is some bullshit? You know, because Black Atheist, I'm gonna keep it 100% with you. I'm not a grifter. I'm not here to find the meaning and the symbols in this bullshit. No, I want literal, factual, actual truth, or I want to call it bullshit if it's not that. And again, who wrote these stories? We don't fucking know. It's anonymous. Did Moses write it? Fuck no. Is this a first person point of view? Fuck no. This reads like a fictional storybook. Call it Harry Potter for the fucking Jews. This is myth making. This is theological narration. This is literary. This is literature. This is stories. This is not facts. This is not history. You don't need to be out here basing your fucking life on other people's made up stories to control people from a different time. This is propaganda for the exiled Israelites. This ain't for you. This ain't for your black ass. This ain't for you. This not for us. This not our shit. This don't got nothing to fucking do with Black Atheist Rants or you. Cause This is made up tradition, y'all. Religious tradition is not actual history. That's what our new takeaway is. We gotta call bullshit, and we gotta speak the fucking truth, because ain't nobody else doing it. Everybody else, they want to find the symbols, and there's parallels, and we can still use this. No, fuck that. It's time to call spades, and grenades, and we gonna put down this bullshit. Every verse, every page, every letter, every bar. Everything. We going through the whole fucking thing. We ain't skipping a page. Hopefully at one point we will get to where the truth starts being written. But we ain't fucking there yet. Genesis 35, we ain't there yet. We got a long way to go before we get to some real facts. But man, I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for rocking with the channel. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. We got more coming. I got 2 albums dropping. Be on the lookout. Turn your notifications on. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Black Atheist.